Welcome, welcome. Okay, so there might be a couple more people coming in the next few minutes. While we're waiting, if you haven't already had the memo, you need a small stone or a crystal. It could be anything, to be fair. It might be a piece of jewelry, it might be something, but I would go for something that fits in your hand and something that you actually quite like to hold. And I'm a bit strange. I sleep with crystals, so I often have them rattling around my bed. And I've got a lovely piece of merlinite, which I'm going to use. But it's not about the crystals. It's just find something that's tactile and that's pleasant to hold. So this is a meditation. Well, it was something that kind of came to me in the night. As I say, I sleep with my rocks, and this was something that just kind of showed me to do something and showed me to think certain things, and just was a real wow for me. So I wanted to share it with you guys. I'm just going to make sure everybody's muted. That's it. So take your stone or your object and hold it in both hands to start with. Just sit with your spine nice and long. Relax the arms. Maybe just rest your hands in front of your belly or on your lap. Close your eyes. Just take a nice deep breath. And as you breathe in, I want you to pull all your awareness in through the brow, into the center of the head, behind the eyes, between the ears. And let the next out breath draw your awareness down into your body, right down to the base. And that should be round about where your stone is as well, if your hands are in your lap. Just connecting with the two. Connecting with the ground, with the earth, through the soles of the feet, through the base of the spine. Allowing the spine to be lifted and pulled upwards, feeling that you're that connection point between the earth and the cosmos. And just drop your awareness back down into your stone in your hands. Breathing slow and deep and wide and full. And what I'm going to do for some of tonight is I'm going to let some words float by you. And what I want you to do is just focus on the feeling of that word as it comes. It might be that you have other things that come up, and that's absolutely fine. But just see what happens, see what you notice as you feel those words and those meanings float by, and see how they're connecting in. You've just joined us. You need a little stone or a crystal or something that you can hold in one hand. And we're holding in two hands. Closing our eyes, dropping into our centers. And first word I'm going to float at you is having. Having. Feeling into your object. Feeling in with the breath. holding. The holder. The holding. Just immerse yourself in that feeling, connecting to the meanings behind, around words. The held. Connecting into that sense of being held. Let yourself be your object. Breathing your awareness in to all three of those things at once: the holder, the holding, and the held. I want you to keep your eyes closed if you can. Just place your hand, your item, in your dominant hand. And as we continue, still with the eyes closed, I just want you to pass the stone from one hand carefully into the palm of the other. Close the fingers around it. Connect with it. When you're ready, do the same. So just backwards and forwards. You don't have to do it in time with me. You might like to start by doing it in time with your breath. Really connecting. Notice what you notice. And I'm going to give you 2 words to float by as you're passing your crystal from one hand to the other. And to start with, try and keep your mind on one of those words as you pass the stone. And there's no right or wrong way. Okay? So the words are giving and receiving. Notice where your predominant point of focus is as you're passing the stone. labeling that moment with one of those words, whichever is at the top of your awareness at that point. Giving, receiving. And even as I talk, just keep passing backwards and forwards. You can vary the rate of the pass. You can hold it a bit longer in one hand if you want to. Notice where your attention is going. Giving, receiving. So one hand is always a dominant hand. One hand tends to be where we give from. Generally, we think of that as the right. I have no idea if that differs if you're left-handed, but that's not important here. One of your hands, one side of your body tends to be the more active side. The other side tends to be the more passive, receptive, receiving side. And so we're combining those two energies of the side that wants to give, so its primary focus is to give, and the other side wants to receive. But the giving hand also wants to receive, because otherwise it has nothing to give. The receiving hand wants to give so that it can open up to receive more. And what you might notice also is the words might jumble themselves up. You might get a run of giving, 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 receiving, and then you might get giving, receiving, receiving, giving. Okay, a couple of new words. Oh, these are good ones. Okay, so breathing in and breathing out. Just come back to the breath. Still passing your stone backwards and forwards, feeling the connection of the movement with the breath. And noticing what you notice within yourself. Gratitude now and generosity. Keeping to that movement. Allow those words to float by. Notice if any other words come up. Creating and dissolving. Teaching and learning. Here's a good one, transmission. Abundance. And release. If there's a word that incorporates the two, abundance and release. Teaching and learning. Creating and dissolving. Giving and receiving. And just let the stone come to rest between both hands again now. Relax the hands. Noticing the in-breath and the out-breath. In that connection. Asking if there is any more insight or any lessons left for you to perceive. And breathe wide and full into your belly, into your rib cage. Let the out breath bring your awareness back up into the center of your head. Start to move Head, shoulders, fingers and toes. Open your eyes and come back to us when you're ready. Grab yourselves a drink of water and have a little move around. So what I'd love to hear from you guys is how that was for you. I didn't want to tell you too much about my experience before you guys did it, because I just wanted you to feel it for yourselves. Would anybody like to unmute and say anything about what they noticed during that practice?
Kirsty? Hey, so I noticed that my very cold piece of stone became really warm, and that your words were really expanding, and it just encouraged me to really sit up straight and connect. And I found it a really beautiful meditation, so thank you very much. My stone was gifted to me not so long back. It's it's quartz right out the ground from a flint mine. It just feels like it's absorbed everything that went through me during the meditation. It's pulsing and very, very warm. It feels quite moist, so it's
awesome.
Definitely come alive. Definitely come alive. Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you. I'm all tuned in and ready for bed now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anybody else like to share?
I don't want to share too deeply what happened, but as my stone is a very special, it's a sculpture really. It's a sculpture. I was down by the Hudson River, and like occasionally happens to people, a particular stone, as I thought it was at the time, kind of called out to me right from all the other stones that looked exactly the same. I'm not even gonna say kind of, it just shouted out, pick me up. And it's been very special to me since then. And like Kirsty, I sleep with my stone most of the time. Sometimes the stone says no. I'll leave it there.
Thank you, Arthur. Thanks, guys. Would anybody else like to share? There's no pressure.
Can I just ask, was your stone in the shape of a bear?
Yes.
And you
Yes.
found it like that?
I did, and it's a very complex stone. There's a lot of other shapes in it that coincide.
There's a goat
with a
in
lot
there
of
as well.
things.
You know, I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, let's not.
I thought you were going to say that I thought the story was going to be that you'd carved it and you'd had this experience or something, because it looks so like a bear. I also found a bear stone a couple of years back. Mine's like white and grey. So wow, that really did call out to you. That I can feel that.
Yeah, mine was white and gray.
Oh wow.
When I started, but I've held it in my hand so often. I wash it every once in a while and it comes out kind of dark gray.
Right.
But yeah, there's a spirit within this stone, and the bear is her totem. And
And you shared that with us, and we could all, well, I could definitely see it. It was so beautiful.
I'm so glad that you could actually see the bear so easily.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, it's there.
What do you see there? Maybe it's this way.
You've actually encouraged me to pick up my bear stone, because what I did, I stood it on a shelf with a picture of my son, because he's always said that he's a bear at heart. So I thought that was really nice, but I am actually going to go and pick it up and use it more. Like you say, they do call out
Your
to you, these
intuition, and
stones.
ask it. And check the other sides. Take a very close look at the other sides, because there may be other things in there, because that's what there were for me. I mean, this is a sculpture, and the spirit, when she was human, sculpted this. And left it for me to find.
Wow.
Awesome. Thank you, Arthur. Thank you for that share. Joy, darling, thank you for coming.
Bye, Joy.
Good to see you. You take care. And we're going to round it off there for tonight. Unless anybody's got anything left to say. Thank you all so much for coming. Great to have you here, and
Thank you.
see you in the morning.
Thank
Maybe
you
not you,
very
Arthur,
much.
but
Well, you might.
Take care.